The Bathurst 1000 is a 1,000 kilometre race, 621 miles around the Mount Panorama circuit located in New South Wales, Australia. The race consists of 161 laps around the mountain with a 2-driver pairing. It's one of the biggest motorsport events broadcasted in Australia, but today we're going to be tackling this with go-karts. This will be my first competitive race in a go-kart. There will be 2 10-minute qualifying sessions as each driver gets to set their fastest lap time and 161 laps around the circuit. Out of my teammate Matt and I, also known as Plebs from League Racing, I set the quickest lap time to qualify second place, 2/10 off pole position. I was disappointed not to get pole position as I was ranked 5th fastest before we started the qualifying session. Due to there only being 2 of us, we cannot talk throughout the race and we must use pit boards and hand signals to communicate. Normal racing rules apply and dirty driving will be penalised. You must also indicate that you're entering the pits by raising your hand or else you will also be penalised. Heading onto the grid now, completing our warm-up lap. Plebs made the decision that I should go first, so my whole goal here is to just keep position and try to give it to him in one piece by the time he gets in the kart. It's lights out and away we go. We're just going to try and stick behind the leader for as long as possible. We know he's a little bit quicker than us in qualifying, so the overall aim here is to try and stick as close to him as possible before we do give the kart to Matt. But the whole grid will be experiencing a massive amount of understeer as we actually got hit in the hairpin by the kart behind, but all is okay at the moment. We're just trying to hold position, and you'll see here as well the race leader actually runs into the wall due to the understeer. So this is lap 2 and we've actually struck a massive problem. We've lost all power to our kart and now we're getting overtaken into 3rd, overtaken now into 4th place. We've lost 2 positions and a massive gap to the race leader now. This is not what we wanted. The power simply just cut out. I had nothing to fight with. There wasn't a jammed brake or anything, and now we're going to get overtaken up the inside now, but I'm just going to try and hold on to my position. I'm going to fight for every little thing I can keep because we're suffering massive problems here. As you can see, I just give the hand signal and that means I'm going to pit this lap. So we're making a very unscheduled pit stop. We were meant to make this kart last a lot longer. Usually the karts last anywhere between 14 to 20 laps long before they start to lose charge, and now my teammate will rejoin the circuit in a new kart.
What's up? So what's up? The car kept cutting out power, just like there was at the other end of the track, coming out of the left-hander hairpin where those cars coming through now, just cut out power altogether, lost like 3 positions.
So yeah, a very frustrating start to the race. We are now a lap down actually, and this is us giving the signal to our teammate as to whether he wants to pit or not, because that's the only way we can actually communicate with each other throughout the race. And this is us getting the confirmation to pit, and it's a mad panic because you only get 30 seconds to get into the kart, do up your seatbelt, and get ready to go back onto the circuit. So players would have completed around 16 to 20 laps, and this is now time for my stint, and I have a lot of ground to make up if I want to make up for the kart failure that we had early on, which is just such a shame because if we qualified on pole we wouldn't have got that kart. So you know, it's a lot of things that could have been different if we just got everything correct. But anyways, we got to make up for it now. Unfortunately, it's not like Formula 1. There is no safety cars, and the only way to unlap yourself is simply by being faster than the cars in front of you, and that includes being faster than the race leader. Now we got the signal to go just as our teammate comes into the pits, and now this is our first proper stint without it being cut short because the previous stint obviously had the kart that had issues. Now we've caught up to what is 2nd place, the red team, also known as the Fishers. We are trying to overtake them. They are also, I think, a lap down at this point, so this is racing for position, and it's actually really hard to overtake here. I think we have a lot more pace than them, but I saw his teammate give a pit board to say hold position or fight for position, so it's by all means no easy task to overtake around here. It's harder than Monaco to overtake around this circuit when you're racing against someone of similar pace as you. As you can see, I'm just bump drafting it. There's no way I can overtake through these corners unless I have a massive pace advantage, which I don't. So I'm just going to have to wait until his kart starts to slow down, which is holding us up even more, which is, you know, a huge disadvantage. And he actually makes a mistake there, I think. And then he just lets us through. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But you can see the kart also in front is indicating he's going to the pits now. And now we finally have some clean air to try and make up some ground to the leaders. But now I'm coming in to complete my stint. It was an overall successful stint. Managed to get some good laps in there. And I don't know how much ground we've made up to the leader, but we're going to need Plebs to take on where we've finished and try to make up some more ground. And he's actually got his favorite kart for handling, and he's actually almost overtaken the race leader. So we've caught up to the race leader now, and he has a chance right now to unlap us. And I'm riding on the pit board. Unlap us, go mate, go for it. And he actually pulls off the overtake going through the double right-hander, and he manages to put us onto the lead lap. And now it's all to play for now. We've got a chance at getting back onto the back of them for actual overtake. So it's all to play for now. I just need to do my job and have a good stint. We're up to lap 111 at this point. So we're well into the race now, but we're finally on the lead lap. And now I'm just writing status to see if his kart's still good or not, as lap 14 is usually the point in which the kart starts to lose its charge. And now each lap is just a bonus from this point on for how long he can make this kart last. And as you can see, he's still giving thumbs up, so we're going to try and run him as long as possible. And hopefully we can get a good kart when we go out for our stint. But at the moment, Matt's doing a brilliant job. Kart number 3 is always a good handling kart, and he's making the most of it at this point in time.
Did we get a penalty?
Unfortunately, you heard correctly. I went and checked the board, and we do have, in fact, a time penalty. The penalty was for Plevs not raising his hand while coming into the pits, which is unfortunate, but there's not much we can do at this point on, and there's plenty of laps to go. So we've got to just make up that ground now and keep our head up and see what we can make of it. And that's exactly what we're doing right now, as Plevs is on lap 21 now, and he's saying that the kart's still good, and this is a big stint.
You know when we got the penalty?
Let you know.
Huh?
You want me to let you know?
Yeah, I don't know when, because if it was me, I recorded myself putting my hand up.
I don't know what it's for, man. I don't do the penalties.
At this point in time, I didn't know what the penalty was for, so I was asking one of the staff members if he knew, because I can't actually monitor what the other driver is doing while I'm getting ready for my pit stop. And speaking of pit stops, it looks like Plevs is ready to come in, and he's given us a thumbs down, so I'm going to write pit here, and I'm actually going to tell the staff early that I'm coming into the pits.
We're pitting. We're pitting.
Now this is risky because I haven't actually given my teammate the pit board to pit yet, and I've said that we're going to pit, so it gives us a bit more time before I can get in the kart, just to be a bit more relaxed and get my seatbelt on. So now I'm giving him the pit signal, and my kart's already been picked for me. I can just jump in it, get my seatbelt done, and we have the maximum amount of time that we can get to do this pit stop. And as you can see now, I've been allocated kart 18, which at the time was one of the best karts, if not the best kart available to Power Kart Raceway. So I was absolutely ecstatic about getting kart 18, but I didn't realize it at this point in time. Okay, so with the helmet on and music blasting, it's obviously really hard to hear, and I just heard the word go, so I almost accidentally went too early, but we got away in the end at least, and now it's time to put in some rapid lap times with one of the best karts we can possibly drive for this race. We are on the lead lap, so all is well in that regard, and we're catching up to a lot of traffic, so they would get the blue flag, but they let me through before they received the blue flag, so a lot of respect to them for doing that. We've caught up to another back marker, and he's got the blue flag now as well, and he lets me through nice and easy. So right now we're setting absolutely flying lap times. The lap times were all under 28 seconds, which is really quick because the fastest ever lap time set around the circuit in this point in time was a 28 flat, and I was setting like 28.5, so yeah, I was doing really well. I was in the rhythm, and I was just trying my best to absolutely hunt down this leader. And this would be one hell of an underdog story, coming from a lap down to overtake the race leader. But little did I know that the race leader had actually pit, and the lap times I was reading was second place, because that's what I thought I was in. But in fact, we are in the lead of the race, but from when I pit, there was 39 laps to go, so I either have to make another pit stop and split it evenly, so about 20 laps for each driver, or I have to somehow bring this to the finish line in first place and try and hold position from the second place driver who is now hunting us down. The black team, who was leading every single lap up until now, is finding themselves in a situation where they're going to have to overtake us for the lead of the race, as we now get a bit of traffic here from the orange team, but they do in fact get out of the way, which is nice of them. And yeah, the race is on now. It's all to play for. I just need to either make a pit stop as soon as possible to allow Plevs to maximize the life of his kart, but as of right now, the kart feels good. The only thing that's worrying is most kart life only lasts just over 20 laps if you're lucky. So for me to try and get 38 to 39 laps out of this kart would be ridiculous. It's such an ask. The kart could easily die at any minute or start to lose charge, but at the moment all is good so far, and that's what Plevs was monitoring, because I kept on giving thumbs up saying that the kart was good, because you can actually feel when the kart starts to lose charge right away. But as of right now, the kart feels good, and I just keep on giving thumbs up. I do lap after lap pretty consistently, and this is the point where I start to notice a little bit of a drop off, and you have to change your driving style accordingly, because you don't have as much power, therefore you can take tighter lines, and a lot of the corners where you needed to lift off or brake for, it's just all flat out now. So taking tighter lines, reducing the distance traveled, and this is a good example. I actually take a tighter line on the exit of this double right-hander, and there's no lift here, no lift at all. I just go through there flat out, try to maximize the kart battery by not losing momentum. And as of right now, I don't know how many laps are left, but I can start to feel the kart die, and I'm going to start to panic to Plevs now, because I have no idea how long there is left until the race is finished. I think I do realize some point close towards the end here that I am in first place, so I'm trying to throw everything at it. I'm trying to maximize the life of this kart, because I really honestly want to pit, but Plevs has already made up his decision, saying I've got to make this go to the end now. It's not worth making a pit stop this late. Even though I give the thumbs down here, there was some friends watching the race as well on the sidelines there, so I gave them a thumbs down as well. And yeah, it's not looking good. The power is just dying, and we originally had a 6-second lead over second place, but now that's all eaten up. The driver behind has caught up to us, and now I'm driving defensively. As you can see, he absolutely sends it up my inside, makes contact, but I don't have that much power to fight him anyways. He lets me back through to make sure that he doesn't get penalized. This is the penultimate lap of the race coming up, so I'm going to make sure I defend the inside line, but he's actually caught us napping. He's sent it up the inside. What a brilliant move. There's nothing I could do to fend that off, and he just has so much more power than us, and unfortunately, this is what we could have done. This is the maximum that we could have got out of this kart, so it was just inevitable in the end. This is the penultimate lap of the race, so now it's just about bringing it home. All the other drivers are a lap down, in fact, so it was just us against the race leader fighting for the win of this race. So there's not much threat from behind unless the other guys try to unlap themselves, and I'm just panicking because I don't know if this thing's going to even make it to the end or if it'll start going even slower. But this is in fact the final lap of the race. I think Plevs drove a brilliant race to get us back onto the lead lap. I threw my absolute everything at it to get in front of the leader, and we had a 6-second margin, but it was just not to be. We tried to make this kart last to the end. I don't think it would have been better time-wise to make a pit stop, as it cost a lot of time to make that pit stop, and we just tried our best, but unfortunately it's going to be P2, and I'm just panicking. We're getting hit from behind, from the karts behind, and I'm just like squeezing him to make sure he doesn't overtake us, because I didn't know if he was racing us or not, but he was in fact a lap down, and that's it. That's the race over now, and it's time to bring it home into the pits. At this point, I'm exhausted. I'm sweating so bad, and I'm just glad it's all over now, because my arms were so tired. I've done a 38 or 39 lap stint, which is unheard of in these karts because they don't last that long. Yeah, and that's one of the staff members just saying he wasn't sure if I had the kart or not that could actually make it that far. And yeah, just what a race. It was so fun to participate in this. I had so much fun, and racing with your mates is great. You make new friends as well, and I've definitely recommend it to anyone who hasn't already done this before. But at the moment, feeling very defeated because the race win was within our grasp, but it was just not to be. I'm going to leave this last part of the video vlog style so you can capture everyone's reactions, and I'll subtitle it as much as I can as well.
You alright? Dude, you did. How many laps? Nearly 40 laps last year. Nearly 40. Congratulations. Happy work, Dan. I was getting nervous. Congratulations. You guys are really good. You're the Wakefield team? Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I just went out of juice. Like 2 laps before 3 laps ago. Because you kept going, and I was like, their car doesn't lose power soon. And you guys took it. And he was still doing like... You were putting in good lap times. He was doing 28. How many laps after like 24 laps, I'm like, I'm not going to fit him. Yeah, how many laps did you pull on that last stint? I don't know. I beat my lap record too. 37 in one car. Yeah. And it only started losing power right there. No, the last 3 laps were like 34, 35. 37 laps in one stint. The kart's only meant to last about 18, 20 laps tops. Sorry? Oh, I was still gonna go. I did a 37 lap stint. Yeah, to the end.
Wanted to come in. That's when you're running to the end.
It was okay up until about 5 laps to go. Yeah. So I wouldn't have known.
And we had like a 6-second lead at that point.
Dude, mega last stint, bro. That's your quality. Thank you.
I was like,
oh man, I'm exhausted after that one.
bro, you were
27.
Mega.
We lost the race with only a few laps to go. I did a 28.4 in the race.
So just calm it.
Huh?
Yeah, we got second.
Yeah.
Quite a lap.
You guys were down 45 seconds at one stage.
We're down in 1 lap.
You were down 45, you were down a lap and a half or more. You were down like way down.
And then he overtook the race leader
Yeah,
to get back on the lead
that.
lap. I was like trying to cheer you on.
Getting back on the lead lap.
That pumped me up.
I was like, yes, go man, go.
What happened first thing, yeah? It so early.
Yeah, the power kept cutting out. And I was in second, I lost 2 positions and I had to pit early. It was kart 17.
I pulled 17 out last night after we had the issues last night.
Oh, there was issues last night with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, I think that cost us the win, to be honest.
Yeah, it did. Oh, your first 40 laps. Once you got the rhythm, you guys were going. That last stint was phenomenal. Mega. I'm surprised it lasted, what, like 33 laps? That was incredible.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. We've just finished our first event. Second place, Maroon Team, Smooth Operators.
That was a smooth operator. Smooth operation.
Anyways, that's going to wrap up my experience with the 161 lap race around Power Kart's circuit. I hope you guys all enjoy it as much as I did. It was such a fun experience. Win or lose, I made new friends, and it was so fun to do it with plebs who I met online league racing. To do a real life event like this was heaps of fun with them, and I'll catch you all on a brand new one.
Tom, do you know what that was? That was a smooth operator. Smooth operation.
Carlos, check the radio. We seem to have picked up some dodgy music channel again.